welcome to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. I'm over on the plot today and I'm going to do a plot tour. The weather is looking quite rainy. We've had some rain this morning. Yes! Because the last few days have been scorching. They've been really warm. So, not warm, hot. They've been really hot. So I was really pleased to see the rain this morning. And then I had a mixture of, this is my day where my children, I've got childcare for the day, so I was coming over the allotment and I thought, no, it's going to rain and I'm not going to get anything done. But I'm here and I'm going to get stuff done even if it does rain. But I want to show you what's occurring on my plot. So let's go and have a look. So we'll start with the veg plot. I'll do the fruit tour another time as it's looking quite messy up there. These are my pepper plants. I have got a red pepper there. I haven't done any harvesting from here yet. The fruits have only just come through. I'm a bit disappointed, well, not disappointed, it's my own fault. The size of these plants are nowhere near as big as they got last year, and I think I've just planted them too close together. So the fruits are coming, but they're smaller than last year's. But as long as they turn red, that's all that really matters. And I've planted them with borlotti beans and runner beans in the same bed. The borlotti beans are just about coming through now. And my runners, we've had a good harvest off these runners so far. My neighbours really like them. As do I. I'm always a bit dubious about runners because sometimes they can be stringy, but these I'm managing to get them sort of at the right size at the moment, so they're not too stringy. I need to do a harvest of them today. I was over here Monday, it was bank holiday Monday, and even though it was really warm, I did manage to get some stuff done. So I stripped all the leaves off these tomato plants and left them to ripen in the sun. And my leeks, the leeks I planted here, haven't done very well. I think a cat has got in and dug up some of the leeks there. But I do have a leek bed, a designated leek bed, so I'll show you that when we get there. And this bed is exactly the same as the one I just showed you. So I managed to strip these two beds, and the leeks are growing well that side. This bed did have my peas in it. It had a row of peas at the back along there, and I've taken those out, which has left the Swiss chard and some very tiny leeks that I had left over and I've planted in there. The sweet corn in this bed, which I've interplanted with dwarf French beans. The dwarf French beans are growing really nicely, and the sweet corn, I'll come around here, let's have a look, got at least two on every plant, so that's good. I'm just waiting for these to go a bit browner before I start harvesting. My celeriac beds, I've got two celeriac beds here. They are doing well. I believe I should really take these outer ones off and let the bigger ones grow on like that. So I need to just spend a bit of time doing that around the bed, but at the moment that isn't a priority. I've got other more pressing jobs to do, but hopefully I'll get around to doing that soon. I've got two more borlotti bean plants there that are doing okay. Next to those celeriac beds, I've got another Swiss chard bed, which again had peas down here, and I've taken them out, so that's all looking tidier. And this is my leek bed I mentioned earlier, which is growing well. I'm happy with that. One of the jobs I also done was to just clear away the foliage that was that side. This bed had lettuce in it, and that needs stripping out and tidying away, and then it can be ready for cauliflowers maybe. I think that's what's going to go in there. If I come round to this bed, this is my parsnip bed. It looks a bit messy, but that's just the parsnips. I hope, let's see if we can see a parsnip anywhere. Oh. So it looks like a load of top growth, but I'm not sure if anything's happening. Oh, there we are, look. Can you sort of see? So that looks like a decent sized parsnip. I don't know if you can pick it up, but there is parsnips under there, so that's good. I do like parsnips. And then coming around to this bed, got the last of the carrots here. They are the nants. And then I've got some beetroot in here. All the spring onions that were in that row there have gone, and I've got heritage carrots in here too. I also need to plant some carrots today. It's a bit late, but we'll give it a go. And there's more golden beetroot here and more purple beetroot there. All of this beetroot really is ready for harvesting, and I think I've still got some beetroot at the moment, which is why I've left it there. But once this beetroot comes out, I'll be planting up this bed with January King cabbage. These two long beds down here had the onions in, and I was hoping to get some raised beds in here over the winter. So there's sort of some cardboard and wood ready for that to happen. It's just finding the time. And this bed had onions at the top and a couple of scraggly cabbages, which I never got round to harvesting in there. And then this bed was also a cabbage and cauliflower bed. The cauliflowers didn't do very well. I'm not very good at growing cauli. They don't grow very well for me. So I've got some cabbages in here. I'm going to clear all these cabbages out and the nasturtium plants today. I love nasturtiums. They are so pretty to have and really great as a sacrificial crop for your cabbages, because the caterpillars will go on them rather than your cabbages. But I have to plant my carrots in this bed, so these will have to go today. But I'll leave the nasturtiums that are up this end in, because they just look so lovely. And handy in salads. And speaking of salads, I've got some lettuce growing here. They are little gem lettuce. And along here are some leeks. A bit scraggly really, but they might pull through. I've got more beetroot, more golden beetroot up here. They've not that long been planted, so I wouldn't expect to see much from them. And at the end I've got some fennel. So this one has gone, that's bolted, but this one next to it, that looks like it's going strong. So I've got a couple that have bolted and a couple that are going strong, which is fine. That fennel is quite bolty, I think. There's another one that's gone to seed, but you can still use the fronds for flavouring salads and things. This is an empty bed again at the moment. Down here I still haven't got around to doing This is where my carrots were going to go about 2 months ago, but I never got around to doing it. I have started to line this one with the sorry, I got interrupted then. As I was saying, what was I saying? Yes, I started to line this one with the old bags of compost, and I'll fill that up with soil, and I'll do the same with the other 3, and they'll be ready to go for next spring then, as I decided to put the carrots where those cabbages are now. It's one of the reasons I'm so late planting my carrots, because I was waiting to get those crates done, but they're not. We have here some very overgrown courgettes. They are sort of a week's growth really. I just haven't been over here much this week, and there's loads of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these mammoth courgettes, but I do have a nice courgette recipe actually, so I'll show you that, because that'll be something to do with them. I got some Turk's turbans growing here. 1, 2, at least 3. My husband did pick one the other day, which I wasn't very pleased with. He was like, there's no courgettes. There was loads of courgettes, but he picked the Turk's turban. And there's 3 butternut squashes there. My other butternut squash plant, which was the opposite side over there, died off. Got a big 100-weight pumpkin there, and then a couple of pumpkins down here. So these beds up here I need to do something with again. The sweet corn, they didn't grow very high, but the cobs that have grown are normal size cobs, so maybe Swift doesn't grow very big. I've not grown it before. My cucumber plant again has a huge cucumber. That's a bit big really, but maybe it'll still be alright. And a couple more growing down there. I've got a big old mess on these tomato. This is what the other ones were looking like until I sorted them all out on Monday. So I've got to do that today. And I've noticed that there is some blight around. So I'll have to try and keep on top of that. And this is my other big job for today, because my overwintering brassicas have got really weedy, so I need to get in there, weed everything, and hopefully rescue them and build a bigger cage for them for the overwinter. And just down here I've got more beans and some borlotti beans, dwarf borlotti beans down there. So that's what's occurring on my plot today. It's I'm sorry it's such a long tour. It feels like it was a long tour anyway. There's still quite a lot growing, but there's quite a lot I need to get done. So I better stop talking to you and go and make a start with planting up those carrots, hadn't I? I'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing if you have done so, and please consider doing it if you haven't. That would be great. It would be a lovely job.